Hey, it's Luke here, and welcome back to the Transcending Thought Channel and podcast. In this video, I'm going to be giving you the essence of meditation and the most powerful meditation practice that I believe will change your life. It's changed my life massively. When you understand the essence of meditation, and I believe the West has misunderstood meditation quite a lot. We've taken it, of course, from the East, and we're still learning about it. And I believe when you understand what I'm about to tell you in this video, your entire life will change. You will feel more peaceful, more centered, more grounded. Healing will happen quicker, your vibration will raise, and your life will unfold a little bit more easily. All of that happens when you practice resting in the no mind. If you've been following these videos for a while, you may know that I suggest that the largest cause of human unhappiness is caused by the human inability to stop thinking. And what I mean by that is that if you are unable to shut off or quieten your thinking mind, it will just keep running. And your thinking mind has evolved to keep you alive, not to make you happy. So that means that its job is to consistently think about problems all of the time. So if you can't quieten it, it's never going to let you rest. It will constantly be finding problems or creating them. So if you're fine now, if things are quite okay now, the reason why you can't find rest is because your mind won't be quiet. So it's continuously annoying you, creating problems, things that may go wrong, things that did go wrong from future, from past. And then if there's even nothing there, what it will do is it will start to create problems for you to just begin solving. That's the insanity of the egoic mind. But the moment that you realize this, the moment that you can catch what the mind is doing, this is the beginning of liberation, salvation, enlightenment. 3 words from differing teachings pointing to the same thing, and it's the ability to awaken from your thinking mind. So your thoughts carry with them an energy that creates an emotion in your body. So if you're consistently thinking, if you can think of thinking like bubbles on the surface of an ocean or a river or a lake, whatever, it's constantly noisy all of the time, constant chaos, ripples and bubbles and all of that stuff all of the time. You can't rest, just be with a still, tranquil being. Meditation, mindfulness, and the essence of every one of my videos is showing you how to bring yourself back to that tranquil, peaceful, calm state, stilling the lake. Because your thoughts cause your feelings. That's why your feelings are constantly chaotic all the time as well. So when we can still that lake, we can come back to stillness. And it's also to deepen the lake. Because it's very unlikely that you're never going to have emotions again. That will happen. Emotions, by the way, means to disturb. So emotions mean disturbance or to stir up. That's where the origin of the word comes from. So what are emotions disturbing? They're disturbing your natural state of peace. Peace is a transcendent property that lies underneath emotions. Sometimes I give the analogy of emotions are like the ripples on the lake. They are the ripples, and peace is the depths of the lake. Down in the deep bottom of the deep lake, it's peaceful, it's still, regardless of what's happening on the surface. So I'm always guiding you to stilling your being and deepening your being. The healing that all humans are looking for is to still themselves, to return back to being, to quieten their inner world and rest. When you learn to do this, what happens is a deeper intelligence can be felt in the background of your experience. You can feel quite deeply a deeper consciousness, a deeper intelligence that is greater than your own mind and body. It's the intelligence that's governing the universe. The universal intelligence that guides the birds south for the winter, that helps those little baby turtles out of their shells that just crack open and they start just rushing towards the ocean. Do you think they are doing that as an individual entity? I would suggest not. They are following a flow, a current of a universal intelligence. They are following their intuition. And we humans have lost touch with that because of the arising of the human ego and the overactive mind. But the moment you learn to quieten your mind, still your inner body, you can sense a deeper intuition, a deeper intelligence as ultimately who you are. And that will begin to guide your actions, guide your words, guide your speech, guide your thoughts, guide your... This is where all kind of intuition, inspired action, inspired thoughts come from. It comes from that deeper place. So the analogy I would like to give in this video of meditation, just to help you to understand what it is, if you imagine you're trying to clean a river. So the river is covered with leaves, mud, all in the water. Now, for most humans, what they would begin to do is they would get in the river and they would try and clean it. So they would try and get all the mud out of the water, they would try and get all the leaves out of the water, but ultimately what that does is it creates more ripples in the river, and it brings all of the mud from the bottom, all of the dirt into the surface, and it becomes murky, and you just get frustrated and you just can't do it. So ultimately the way to clean the river is to stop doing anything. You step out of it, you sit yourself on the bank, and you watch it. And it may still stay murky for a while, but eventually that water, the river current, will begin to take the leaves away. The mud will begin to drop back to the surface, and with no effort on your part, the water becomes clear again. Now, I'm sure you can hear the analogy there. Of course, it's the analogy for your mind. The mud, the leaves are all of your thoughts, the noisiness, the images, and the thoughts of future, thoughts of past. If you fight with your mind, if you get in there and try to quieten it, that's just more mind. You're just creating more frustration for yourself. So ultimately, the only way to quieten your mind is to let go of attempting to do anything. If you view meditation as a doing, and this is why I believe the West has misunderstood it, because meditation is a verb, it's like a doing word, it's like you do it. It's not a doing. It's a being. It's not doing. It's a relaxed being. It's letting go of doing for a moment, of the fight, of the struggle, and just being the observer of what you are experiencing. So you don't silence your mind with willpower. You don't try to stop thinking. You rest, you become more aware of the present moment, you get out of the mind and you watch it from the bank, and even if the mind has a momentum to it, you continue just allowing it to do that. You don't fight with it, you don't do anything. If the mind wants to speak, you let it speak, but you sense yourself as the watcher, as the listener, as that awareness that is not the thinker but the watcher, the observer. And you just hold that knowing that who you are is not the thinker, not the voice in your head. And the more attention you give to yourself as the awareness, as the observer, eventually the mind will quieten on its own. It's the same as the river clears itself. It will just happen. So the fundamental essence of meditation is letting go of the fight, letting go of the struggle, letting go of doing, and becoming aware of your own being. The fundamental essence of all of this is now, awareness of now, present moment awareness. Your mind lives on time, of future and past. It will continuously draw you to future, to past, like a river, like a current. You're just getting dragged around because it doesn't want you, or at least it can't allow you to find its demise. The egoic's silver bullet, the ego's silver bullet, is the present moment. The egoic mind can't survive in the now. It can only survive in future and past. This is why many spiritual seekers spend lifetimes attempting to become enlightened, is because it's sometimes projected off into the future and I just need to get there. The now is all that there ever is. So it's now or never. One of the core errors of, I believe, this stuff as well is that, for example, you may know this. You may know that enlightenment is resting in the silent mind, but the ability to be quiet, to be present. No thoughts of past, no thoughts of future. You strip that away and just be here now, resting in the now. But sometimes what happens is people then begin trying to hold on to that. So they think, okay, I just need to be here now, and I need to then be here now for the rest of my life. And you're back in time again, you're looking to the future. I need to be in the present moment tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. You let go of all of that, you just be here now. You let go of future. Don't give it any thought. For now. Just be here now. That's meditation. I agree with Eckhart Tolle, who says mindfulness is not a helpful word, because mindfulness sounds like your mind should be full, and it's the opposite. It should be empty, spacious, clear, just presence, a silent stillness. This is the essence of meditation. Even meditation is not a nice word because it sounds like something that you do. You meditate on something, but it's simply a state of being. That's what all the spiritual texts point you to, a state of being, here, now, calm, still, alert. But it's a relaxed alertness. And then when you rest in that relaxed being state, you really can feel what people call God. When people have truthfully spoken about what that word points to, you can really sense it. God is not something up there separate from you. It's not much of a helpful word anymore, because it's become misinterpreted as a man in the sky. Some other nice words could be being or life, a universal consciousness. Some other words that can point you to this ineffable, invisible intelligence that's surrounding you. Imagine trying to go to the bottom of the ocean and try to teach a fish about water. You're trying to tell this fish about water and trying to describe it, and the fish is going, water, what are you talking about? What is that? It's so immersed in it, it can't sense it. If you could help the fish to become quite still and quite alert to the present moment, it may begin to feel some current, something pushing it, something guiding it. It will feel as the water comes, and it will feel things brush past its face. It will feel the water. It can't sense it. It's immersed in it. And it's the same with what has often been called God, or being, or life, universal intelligence. It's an invisible intelligence, an energy that's governing this universe, and you are in it, and it is in you, or more accurately, it is you. It's your essence. It's your own being. That which is not the thinker. So the spiritual awakening is as simple as becoming aware of yourself as the observer of your experience, including your mind. Observing it, watching it, not becoming entangled in the mind and losing yourself in the dream, because it is a dream that you fall into. And that's of course why we call it a spiritual awakening. You, consciousness, awareness, awakens from the dream of being, the voice in your head, the thinker that can be made up of past and future, a little being, a little self that's struggling to survive, and it's very, very scary to be in that state. But there's nothing to be afraid of, because you are still the one consciousness. You're just dreaming. In the same way as when you're dreaming and having a nightmare, you're very scared, but your body is perfectly safe in bed, tucked up, warm, comfortable, nothing to be afraid of. Your mind is creating the suffering. Only when you wake up can you see that. There's a next step. There's another awakening. That's what the East talk about. You're in sleep, you're having dreams, you don't know that you're dreaming. You then wake up into this world, whatever it is. but you're still in the mind. You're still believing that you're a little individual self. But if you look more closely, there is no identity to be found in thinking. There's just thinking. There's no identity, there's no I to be found in the thinker. There's only an I that can be found in the listener, the observer, the consciousness transcendent to thought. So be present, slow down, feel the deeper intelligence that's within you and you are within. Really sense being. I like the word being. You sense being. You can sense whatever that word points to for you. You can really feel it. It's like a cloud of peace that comes in. And you sense an intelligence higher than your own, governing you, guiding you. Ultimately, what you have to do then is just listen and flow. That's the power of mindfulness meditation, but perhaps more helpful phrasing could be the power of just being.